So welcome back to our second day of demo session. So just to give you a quick recap about yesterday's session. Yesterday we had seen what is the master data and what are the various business challenges of master data and how we can govern the master data using SAP MDG and what are various use cases of SAP MDG and what are the various deployment options available in MDG. So today we are going to see the architecture of SAP MDG and what are the various out of the box applications available in MDG and what is a governance process flow in MDG. And we'll see a system demo to understand what are the various business processes available in MDG. Okay, let's jump on to our session. So what is a typical MDG architecture? So this is just some theoretical portion. So MDG is fully integrated with S4HANA. This we had already discussed. And it can also be installed on ERP, I mean ECC, but the version should be ERP 6.0. It is the minimum allowed version to get installed on the ECC system. Okay. And there are two versions likewise. So one is on MDG on ECC and one is on MDG on S4HANA. There are various capabilities which can add more value when you go with MDG on S4HANA. It's a functionality wise. So we'll see the differences. What are the major differences? We may not be able to discuss each and every item, but we'll see what are the major add-ons, major differences, and how we can find out the differences. What is the source from SAP portal? So that also we are going to see. And these are the various capabilities from S4HANA. We'll see this portion again in detail. For now, I am skipping this particular part. So this is the typical MDG architecture components. So the diagram looks having many components, but we'll understand what are the various components one by one. Okay. So these are the client systems. Okay. So we have various client systems. When I say client system, those are the systems that can be connected to MDG in hub environment. Okay. So this portion is applicable for the hub environment. So it can be anything, any third party system, can be SAP or non SAP or whatever it might be. Okay. And now we have on left side some optional parts. So what are these optional parts? So these are nothing but without these also MDG standalone can sustain. Okay. These are the optional components or optional applications which can be leveraged with MDG to improve certain functionalities. Let's say, for example, Fury. Yesterday, we had seen what are the various user interfaces available in MDG. We had seen NWBC, we had seen FPM application, and we had seen Fury. So without Fury also, MDG process can continue. But if Fury is there, that will be available only on S4. If Fury is there, then user experience will be good. So this just adds an value to the user experience. Likewise, we have information steward, data services, all these things. These are information steward and data services. So these are to load the data and improve the data quality before the initial loads and all. Okay, they refine the data, they filter the data, they apply some rules, and they uh, filter the data, they apply some transformation rules and all before loading the data to MDG system and enterprise search. So this is mainly for material master to enhance the search functionality. And again, this is not applicable for S4 HANA, S4 HANA version. This is only for ECC version. So we have a separate unit to discuss on this, especially we'll see in detail later, but just for your understanding, here I am telling. And SAP HANA. As I said, without SAP HANA also MDG can sustain. So how? It can be installed on ERP 6.0. So these are the just some components using which we can enhance the MDG functionality. Okay. Now we will understand what are the MDG core components. Okay. Now, if I take the central portion, this one, these are nothing but what are the MDG objects? What are the master data that can be governed using MDG? So we divide MDG master data objects and to make it more more technical term, out of the box applications from MDG. We divide into two. One is out of the box application and second one is the custom objects. So when I say out of the box objects, when customer purchases MDG component or S4 HANA, what are the master data domains that come along with the purchase? That's what I mean by out of the box applications or out of the box the objects or out of the box domains. You'll be hearing different words from different people in your real time, but nevertheless all are the same. So when I say out of the box, so material, customer, supplier, business partner, finance. In finance again we have profit center, cost center, general ledger account, company, chart of accounts. So all these are available in the finance. And along with the sorry,
So
along
can
with
you explain out of box Madhurwan? Once
the,
repeat now.
yeah, sure. So to understand what are the out of the box means, let's say I'm purchasing a phone. Okay, when I purchase a phone, you see in the description the box contains, okay, there what they mention, a charger, earphones, mobile handset, user manual,
Yes.
and if applicable maybe screen protector or tempered glass. Okay.
Oh,
So these are out of the box. That means when you purchase that product you are getting all these items.
okay.
Let's say they are not providing the tempered glass or what do you say, screen protect case cover. So those are not out of the box. What you have to do, you have to purchase it separately
Oh,
and get installed it on your mobile phone.
oh,
Similarly, when customer purchases MDG license, so they will get few master data objects out of the box.
oh,
What are they? Material, business partner, financiers.
oh,
This is high level categorization. And if they want to have other master data which is not out of the box, they have to build custom object.
oh.
So is that clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now this is about the master data out of the box versus custom. And now we can see some other components here: workflows, staging, validation. user interfaces, roles, work center, blah, blah, blah. So all these are nothing but the features are the functionalities that can be reused by MDG framework. Okay, we have the workflow in MDG. Yesterday we discussed something called staging area, which contains inactive data and active data. So staging area is nothing but it's just like a storage storage space for master data in MDG. So this is available along with the MDG product. Okay, when you take the MDG, so you will get all these things. These all can be reused. Okay, these are not any software components. Again, these are just the inbuilt functionalities or inbuilt features available in MDG. That's it. And these are the various components. It can be S4 HANA or ERP, and ABAP application layer also will be available. It can be integrated in MDG itself. And to access this one, we have the NWC portal, or if it is S4, you can see SAP Fiori. Okay, so this is about a typical MDG architecture. And here, if you see, MDG is communicating with all these portions. It can communicate with the third party systems. Also, it can communicate with data services, information steward, and enterprise search. For this, will be client will be using T-Rex server. So it's a search engine. Okay, so this is how MDG will be architected. Now, to give you a better picture, let's see some scenario in a SAP in the system. Okay, don't worry about the transaction codes at the moment. So when I said out of the box applications, see, we have the financials, business partner, material. So these are the out of the box. These come along with the product, MDG product. And if you want to see what is the version installed, go to the system status here. This is MDG foundation and MDG component. And if you see S4 core, and if you go install versions, you can see S4 on premise. It's a 1909. Okay, where we'll be using this one for our regular practice as well. 1909 has been installed, so it comes with ABAP application layer itself also. This is the S4 foundation, and you got a Fiori also along with the S4. Okay, so these are the out of the box domains. Okay, now I will show you something else. Don't worry about all these things at the moment. It's very early to learn about all these things for you. So now I was telling you about something called staging, right? So this is the staging space. It's also nothing but a database table. That's it, nothing much. So by default, MDG comes with the staging area. When we say staging area, when anyone says staging area, you need to visualize in your mind that, or you need to correlate to that. It's nothing but a database table only. Okay, for each domain. either material or customer master or supplier master or business partner or any finance objects, will be having the staging tables. This, more technical term, we can use it, staging table. Okay, so if you take let's I'm not giving exact scenario, but I just want you to understand with the familiar term. Let's say I am governing master data for an employee. So what are the various sections can be available for employee data? Employee personal details, employee employment details, and contact details, and previous experiences, qualifications, skill set. Likewise, we will be having the different sections for employee. So for each section of employee, as I just shown you the data model, in the data model, we create one entity, means one structure. That's it. And for each structure, we will be having one staging table. So employee personal details will be stored in one staging table. Employee contact details will be stored in one staging table. Employee qualifications will be stored in one staging table, etc., etc. So that's how staging tables works. So here again, I told you that staging area contains inactive data and active data. So what do we mean by that? So if you see, this staging table is for material. This is the material number, and just immediate previous to that column, we have one column called active or inactive. If you press F4, you can see active, inactive. So when the indicator is active, that means this is a active data record, and if it is inactive, it is an inactive record. So what is inactive record, what is active record, that we will see in some time. Okay. So this is how the staging area looks like. And coming to the user interfaces, don't worry about all these navigations. We'll be seeing that again. Okay, the roles are not assigned. Just give me a minute. So now if you can see here, we have the material governance. Okay, I'll go to material processing. So here various business processes are there. When I say business processes, I mean these things. So we can search for a material, we can create a material, we can change any existing material, we can mark any material for deletion, and for processing of multiple materials, again we have various processes. We can download any material data into a file, and we can do the mass change on the material. Means if you want to change any certain attributes of mm, bulk materials, let's say for 100 materials you want to change the quantity or net weight or whatever it is, so then you can go with the mass change. And if you have a set of materials data in a file, so you want to load it into MDG, so you can go with the file upload option. So likewise, these are the various business processes available in MDG, and we will see how these business processes are linked to NWBC UI, and what is the backend logic or backend configuration required to get this done. Okay. Now I can search for a material. Let's see if anything exists. Yeah. If you see, these are all the existing materials. And if you can click on this, if it will display the respective material data. You can expand whatever the section you want to see. This is the material basic data. And let's see if there are any plants. There are no plants written, only basic data has been updated. And if you want to create a new material, you can click on this, and it will take you to the material creation screen. Okay. So here these are the various data. I was saying you about the sections, right? So these are the various sections. We have the material basic data, a description, dimension, class assignment, characteristics, purchasing data, sales data, storage data. The functional consultants know better than me about each and everything, how it works. So plants data, everything. For everything, we have one staging table internally, and each of those staging tables related to material are linked internally with some key. Okay, so here you can see something called change request. So this is common for any master data object in MDG. So whatever the master data we are processing in MDG, that is linked to this change request. And to give you more clarity on this, let's say you are working in an organization. So definitely every organization will be having one IT team. Okay, so you have um, a situation where you need an accessory. Okay, let's say your organization is providing the headsets for employees as well. So if you want headset for you, so are you directly going to the IT team and asking, give me, hey, give me one headset like that? No, it won't work. So every organization mostly will be having a set of process or guidelines. We need to log into the ITG portal, and there we need to raise one ticket, can be service request or whatever it is. So once the service request is raised, so there will be adding some details. Okay, what is this request about, and what are the details, and who is your approver. Okay, if it is automatically automatic workflow is set up, it will automatically route to your line manager. Okay, for his approval. So only he is approved, then ITG team will take care of that one. If he rejects, then you will get a notification saying that, hey, your line manager has been rejected your request, please check with him, something like that. So you will go back, get back to him and ask him why it was rejected, whether you are not eligible to uh, raise a request to get the headset or whatever. So then if it is approved, ITG team will take care of that incident and they will assign a headset for you. Once you receive the headset and you check it is working properly, then you can confirm from your end and ITG team will close the service request. So this complete process, what is the link for this complete process? What is the core for this complete process? Service ticket number. So that service ticket number itself contains the complete flow, the complete details of this process. Similarly, in MDG, the complete master data process, we were discussing about yesterday the governance process, master data governance. So the complete governance process moves around change request. So this is a ticket. So to be more technical, this is a container which holds the master data which is under the governance process. If you see, this is the master data status. Okay. Now to show you the governance process flow, give me a minute. Let me check if there is any changes or not. We can make use of this. So it's 202. Okay. Don't worry about all these things. We'll learn everything, whatever I am doing right now. Okay, now we have done all this required setup. Let me show you one governance flow. So I'll fill in the basic data of material. Okay. So now if you see, you cannot see the actual material number. This is the temporary number. Okay. So this is under the governance process. The current status of this change request is changes to be executed. So I don't want you to think deeper into all these things. Just I want to show you how the governance process works in MDG. That's it. So when I submit this change request, this is similar to after filling your service request details, you are submitting it to the approval or for the next level. Okay, I submit this. So I have submitted, and when we refresh, we can see the changes applicable, and we can see the workflow log. So no work items. Probably workflow might have been not configured. And let me do that from the backend. So this is the new system. So that's why you may see some changes are not yet been done. The base configurations and all. They have refreshed the system. Now if you see the status is final check approved. Generally this will be done from the front end only. So when we have some issues in the front end, we have an addition, a different way to handle it from the back end. But this is not accessible for the user. So either technical folks or functional folks will be doing this activity. So as soon as the CR status change request, we simply call it as CR. As soon as the CR status is final check approved, you can see a material number generated 2355. So if I go to the backend and see the material 2355, you can see that material is created in the backend system. So this is the active area of MDG. So don't get confused between the active data portion of staging area with active area of MDG. So when we say active area of MDG means MDG also an SAP system only. It also get all the ERP tables, whatever the tables available in ECC, everything will be available here in MDG system also. So that means whatever the data available in the standard tables that we consider it as active area. That's it. So this material is available now in active area. And I will show you one more scenario. I am creating another material. Okay. Let me give you, let me fill in the basic details. Okay, now, okay. I fill in the basic details. I just save this and I submit to the next level. Okay, now this is the change request number 204. It will auto generated. And the material number you can see $43. I was saying this is a temporary number. So to ensure that, let's validate that material from backend. You cannot see that material number. But when I go to this staging table, so let me go to the staging table of material. Can you see an entry for $43? So what is the status of that record? Inactive. So this record is inactive means this is still in the governance process. It's waiting for some action from some approver or any level of workflow or anything. So it's not yet ready for use by other applications because it's not moved from staging area to active area of MDG. So when any data is moved from staging area to active area of MDG, then only this is accessible by the external applications or any other applications. Now what I do is I'll activate that CR. So it's, if I'm not wrong, it's 204. Yeah. So let me fill in that, activate. Okay, now it's activated. So I'm just refreshing this table content. See, $43 is no more available in the staging area. Why? Because the status is final check approved. The governance process is completed. So when it is approved or final check rejected, the governance process is completed. That means your service request is approved or closed or some final action has been taken. That means service ticket will get closed. Okay. Material number generated. There is no more temporary number. So you can see the material number available in the backend. So that means when the change request process is completed, or the change request governance process is completed, you cannot see that anymore available in the staging area. And again guys, there are extensions for my statement, so it will not be 100% accurate statement. I can say because there are some exemptions or some add-ons to the statement. I don't want to confuse much about that at the moment. So for now, you just keep that in mind. Once the change request governance process is completed, it will not be available in the staging anymore. It will be moved from staging area to active area of MDG. Whether it is MDG on ECC or MDG on S4, this process remains same. There is no difference at all. So any questions so far?
Sir, here material number and change request number will automatically will give us a system.
Yeah, system will take that
Automatic.
one.
In
Yeah.
real time also, we are assign the number ranges or
Yeah, I will show you how we will assign the number ranges for all these things. We have additional another topic called
oh,
data modeling. So
oh,
there
oh,
we will see assigning number ranges for the in MDG and everything.
oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah,
We are
and
doing
again
very
for
good.
your information, the actual material number generated, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
come from the our material configurations in the backend. This will be
In,
done by the basis, sorry, functional functional
yeah,
consultant.
ECC system, material
Yes.
material type there.
Yeah,
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Every material type is
Number
configured for
ranges.
the, yeah. So
Okay.
this comes from their own.
Oh,
Any questions from anyone? Okay.
So when you say the master data governance modeling, is it like the configuration of the SAP or the data, how we should the structure of the customer or material, how we should maintain.
Okay. So I hope you are aware of Mara table, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So if I want to see the if someone come and ask you what are the various fields or what are the various data items available for a material in Mara, how we will say? We will say material basic details like unit of measure, material type, material group, blah 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 will be available in MD in Mara table. Okay. So how we are making this statement? That's only based on the Mara structure. So am I correct?
Yep, agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So similarly in MDG also, if we want to model the data, if you want to structuralize the data, we will create one data model. In simply just like Mara table, Marcy table, Mardi table. Here in MDG we create an entity. So for Mara we will be creating one entity type. Okay. So we'll show you in the system so that you will get more clarity. So this is the data model for material. Okay, every material, all materials data will be available here. Means the structures for any material sections will be available here. If you go to the entity types, you can see all these things. And when visualize the data model, you can see this is the material basic data entity. This has all these attributes. Like we have the material valuations, and we have the sales data, one entity for sales data, just like one structure. Likewise, we have the material MRP text, and we'll be having MRP area, and we have the plant data. For every section of material, we have one entity available here. So this is how we model the data. So before governing the data, we need to model it. So that is nothing but the data model. So am I answered your question?
Yeah. So my other question is, when we are modeling the data of Mara, for example,
Hmm.
in MDG, so if the business want any new fields,
Okay.
okay, but it has to be added in the in SAP system also, and in the then again the same change will be done in the both MDG and actual SAP system also, right?
Yeah, it's a very bit advanced question, but to answer your question, yes, we need to do it in the both the ends.
Okay.
And again, that has different parameters to be considered. So for now, yes, it should we can do it in both the sides.
Okay.
This entity tables we should remember now, sir. Should we remember in real time also? In,
Uh,
like table name, Mara table or
yeah, if I if I need to give you an happy answer,
uh,
yes, you need to remember. But if I
uh,
want to give you the practical answer, no need to remember everything. The
okay,
core entity types need to be remembered.
okay,
Let's
okay.
say if someone say what is the material root entity.
Yeah.
So if you are climbing an experience of 3 years or 2 years, and if you don't know the core entity of data model,
Mm.
then it's false. So
Oh, yes,
core entity material.
yes.
This we need to remember for sure. And
Oh,
if someone say come and ask what is the core entity of plant material plant, it's Marcy basic. So we need
oh,
to remember that one.
oh.
If someone come and ask what is a plant storage location, plant valuation data, blah blah blah, etc.
Mm.
So
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Marcy star will be it starts with the Marcy. I don't remember exactly, but the core entity for plant is Marcy basic.
Mardi, right, for storage.
I'm saying plant.
Oh, plant is Marci. Okay.
Yeah,
For storage, yeah, Mardi.
yeah, storage Mardi. Yes.
Yes,
So the core entities need to be remembered, and if you
yes,
have a very good memory, you can remember all the entities, but I have a bad memory. I don't remember all the
No,
entities.
I mean, I think it's at least we need to know that key fields in
Yeah.
each
So if
entity.
you see here, total 156 entities are there.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely not possible for a human to remember.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. So that's a
at least we can
practical,
practice with the
yeah,
key
that's a
fields. Yeah.
practical scenario. Yeah. So any other questions from anyone? Okay. So if there are no questions, we'll take a short 10 minutes of break and we'll come back. So welcome back. Hope everyone is back now. Let's continue with the discussion.
Yes, sir.
So any questions from anyone from architecture perspective?
Sir, in S4, in S4 HANA system, without HANA, how it works, sir? Here, as above, you shown the system.
Yeah. What can I ask you a question? So what is the difference that you know about S4 HANA and ACC?
S4 HANA is his own SAP own database system, sir.
Okay.
In ERP, Oracle database is there, sir.
Yeah. So to add some other points for your answer.
Mm.
So S4 HANA is also an SAP
Above.
component. Yeah,
Mm.
a component, and where it uses SAP's own database, HANA database. Okay,
Okay.
HANA is the database,
Yes, sir.
and whereas ECC, it can leverage or it can connect to any database in the backend, not only Oracle. It can be
Okay.
Sybase or it can be DB2 or it can be SQL Server or whatever it is.
Okay.
So we when it connects to the backend HANA database on S4 HANA system, so it will be comparatively faster.
Yes, sir.
And then when it comes to MDG, for your question, how it works on HANA ECC without any S4 HANA database or anything. So it will work on ECC as well because that as ECC server is connected to backend non-HANA databases.
Oh.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone before moving to the next topic? Okay, let's jump on to the next topic. So what are the various out of the box applications? We had seen that in the system, but to give you some high level picture about that. So these are the various out of the box applications available as of 1709 MDG 9.1. So financials, material, supplier, customer. If you see, there are two different color codes have been maintained for all the set of objects. So the reason is SAP has some authorized solution partners in the market. So solution extension partner. When I say solution extension partner, so SAP has implemented these three data models. Okay, material, supplier and customer, that comes as BP, business partner, and financials. Now there are more master data objects in SAP other than these three. So SAP did not implement further. So there is a company called, you can see from here, Utopia. Utopia. So Utopia is SAP's solution extension partner where they have implemented mass MDG data model for these master data. enterprise asset management and retail fashion management. Again, enterprise asset management have these types of master data objects. So these two data models are implemented by Utopia. Okay, there is one more asset information workbench, all these in the latest versions 1909. Okay, so what is the difference that we need to understand? So when customer purchases license for MDG from SAP, by default they get only these components, these models. They won't get these models because they are by the solution partner, SAP's solution partner, not SAP's proprietary models. Okay, so for getting these objects, customer has to purchase an additional license. And again, even though it is implemented by SAP solution partner, the quality check and the marketing and the sales, everything will be taken care both by SAP and Utopia. Again, if you raise any incidents, it will go to SAP only. So it will be again, everything will be handled from SAP only, but in the backend, Utopia will be in the picture. Okay, so this is an additional license required, as well as there is another solution partner in the market as of now for SAP in MDG SNV, scalars and vectors. So they have one object as per my knowledge. So this, for your information, this snapshot I have taken from the SAP Pressbook, second edition, and it was not mentioned about this object in the diagram, but SNV has implemented this object, FICA, finance controls and auditing. Finance is there, but in that they have extended something. And for materials, they have extended something. I think it's a taxonomy, if I'm not wrong. So those add-ons are not available in this picture. Likewise, if any partner specific solutions are there, those will not come with the MDG standard license. Some additional license has to be taken for these components. Is this clear for everyone?
If you want, we need to purchase
Yeah.
through Ethiopia. Okay.
Okay. Now, moving on to the governance process flow. We had seen the governance process in system. It was only one level we had seen, but generally it can be multiple levels. Okay, we'll see how it. Let's take a scenario. We have a requester. So here requester is nothing but the person who initiates the governance process. Okay, I ask a question to everyone. You can answer. I have created a material sometime back. So in that process, who was the requester?
Creation of material again. That is the request.
Okay, who has created that material?
Yeah, and
Yeah. Yeah. So I am created that material. So I am the requester.
yes, sir.
Okay. When it comes to the real time in business, let's say you are creating a material, you are the end user,
Yes, sir.
then you are the requester.
Yeah.
So who initiates the governance process? That person is considered as the requester. So this is a MDG specific term,
Okay.
a standard term, requester. And requester maintains the data. It can be any data. Don't be specific to only these items. It can be any data, material data or any master data. They maintain the data, and after maintaining data, what I have done, I have submitted the change request. So they will submit the change request for approval. So it goes to the next level. It can be configured. how many next levels are required, that can be configured. Okay, it goes
Okay.
to the next level. So what we call the next level person, that is decided by the business. Business will decide. They have their own terminology. They can use whatever they want. They can use the term specialist, or they can use the term reviewer, or they can use the next level approver, or whatever.
Okay.
So just understand, it is going to the next level, and this person may approve or reject. If he rejects, it goes back to the requester. If he approves, it goes to the next level. So next level again, two people are there, and if they both approve, then it will update it in the backend. So that means change request is final check approved and it is closed.
Okay.
So this is how the a simple scenario of the business. So again, this is not always the same scenario for every client. So it may vary. It is specific to each client. So they have their own governance process flow. And now to give you a better picture on this,
Uh, so here the requester in the diagram I see like from the specialist is coming back either rework or reject, right?
yeah, so that is
Uh,
configurable. It's not always the same case. Sometimes we may not be having the rework required when he rejects. So few businesses want, when he rejects, close the CR. Don't send it back to requester for rework. So that also one possible scenario. We can configure as business needs it. Okay. So
but
here,
I'm a little confused here. I mean, maybe the question is, for example, I have requested to create one material.
okay,
Okay. So in that case, then it will go to the specialist, right?
right,
So when the specialist has, so you here that means like when I'm requesting, I will provide the data what needs to be created.
correct,
So then in that case, specialist will do the analysis, and if he will come back if anything is missing, then he will say like he will reject and rework. Is that
correct.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if any data is missing or if any incorrect data is maintained, so he will reject and send it for the rework by the requester. So
Okay.
this is how the MDG governance process. Data can be governed. It won't directly go and update into the backend. So it will go certain levels of approvals. Everyone will review and validate the data at different levels, and then finally it will get approved.
Okay. But my other question, as
Hmm.
a requester,
Hmm.
so I also should have some uh, privileges to check whether the request has been created properly or not, right?
Yeah, requester will be having access throughout the governance process to see the status of change request at any level.
Okay.
He will be
Okay.
having the access.
So, but he also have any privilege to like reject? Okay,
Yeah. So
this is
here,
not
if
what.
you, yeah, here if you can see, he can cancel the change request. If you don't want to send it for next level approval, he can cancel it, and the workflow will be stopped. I mean, the change request will be closed, and the specialist will be notified. Okay, your requester has been cancelled the CR. You don't need to take any action.
So here, can I consider this cancel change request be like whether he's not happy with the data created or he
Yeah,
wanted
it can be anything.
anything?
He is not
Okay,
happy with the data and he want to withdraw. He want to
okay,
create a new change request. It can be
okay,
anything.
okay. Got
Let's say we are creating a service request in our ITG portal. You feel that you missed to update something. Then what you will do? Either you will inform to the team manually, or if they reject, then you will re-enter the data, or you can cancel that service request and raise the new service request for the same with the proper details. It's something like that.
okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
So as a MDG, so in this process, can you give an example like where the person will be uh, act here and where the functional person will be act here?
Yeah, again, it's advanced question.
Advanced. Okay, sorry. Okay.
We have a unit for this designing this flow. It itself takes around I can say 10 to 15 sessions, 10 sessions approximately. It's a very
Okay.
huge, big topic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, any other questions from anyone? Okay. So now we will see the flow in a generic way. So I categorized into three: business process, MDG space, and any external providers. Okay, let's see what are they. So under the business process, these are the business systems available. It can be any third-party system or suite systems, S4 suite systems, or whatever it is, either SAP or non-SAP. These are the current systems. Now, requester is creating the master data business user. The initiate requester is the one who initiates the governance process in MDG. Okay, when the requester maintains the data, so the staging area will be holding that data. We have seen that practically in the system. As soon as requester creates and save the date change request, it will be available in the staging area. So that we call it as maintain step. That is the initial step of the governance process. Now, when requester submits, it goes to the next level, validation. So validator can be any business user, again, authorized business user, just like someone from ITG team. So they will review and validate the data. They can take any action, either approve or reject or whatever it may be. So as a standard term, we call that person as the steward or validator. Again, these terms, what the terms to be used for the each level user, that is decided by the business. If they ask your suggestion, this is especially for the architects and functional consultants and business analysts. So because you will be facing the client during the workshops and requirement gathering phases. So let's say if the client is new to this MDG and they know they have zero knowledge, they may ask your suggestion. So what's your suggestion? What we can call that person? So we can suggest as per MDG technical MDG standard terms, we can call them steward. But again, each business, each client, each customer will be having their business running already. So they will be having their terms, plant approver or MRP specialist or finance specialist, finance reviewer. They will be having their own terms in the current business. They don't, they may not want to uh, go beyond that one. They may not want to suppress that terminology or suppress that rules. They want to use that rules only here also. So then they come and say, okay, don't make it as steward, just make it as MRP controller or finance up reviewer. So then for this level of approval, whoever the authorized users are there, for all those users, we create a role, finance reviewer, and assign the users for that role. That's it. And now during the validations, so sometimes it's very rare. Sometimes some external services will be leveraged to validate certain functionalities. Let's say we are validating address data or we are validating the bank details. So since those are sensitive data, maybe business may not want to share, and they might be using some secured applications which can validate these things. So in the backend, we'll be implementing something to connect to that external applications and validate pass this change request data to that, and it will get validated. It's an optional component. And once steward is approved, then it goes to the next level, final approve. So we call that person as approver. Okay. And once it is approved, then the change request is closed. Final check approved. Then the data will be available in the backend. And there is an additional step, optional step, replication, only for hub scenario, where we want to replicate the data to the target systems. So this step is only for the hub scenario, not for co-deployment. So the approvals with the approval step, the governance process is completed for the co-deployment scenario. This is for co-deployment or hub both. But in hub, we have an additional step called replication. Now, once the data is replicated to the target systems, there is an additional activity can be done adapt. This is not part of MDG. You can see this segregation. Here MDG is there, but here we have adapt. If you remember yesterday's session, yesterday we had discussed a scenario. Business users, only few business users can directly go and change the master data in their current transactional systems for any emergency purposes. And later to make the MDG and the current business systems in sync, they come and adopt the same changes in MDG so that both the systems will be in sync. So that process is called as adaptation. So they can adopt whatever they want if they got the required authorizations. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Step 5 is an optional, step 4 is an optional for co-deployment. It's not applicable at all. And again, let's say my client don't want to go with these levels. And again, this is a generalized process flow. We cannot say this is the same scenario all the times for all the clients. Okay, I will show you some use cases. So let me show you a few use cases. So this was one governance process flow. Requester submits, it go to the reviewer, and when he approves, it goes to the approver. When he approves, it will be activated, means final data will be done. So once it final data is created, we need to send the email to the requester saying that your CR is up, final check approved. So here we have different steps: step 0, step 10, step 20. And this is another governance process. Here we have the requester and the specialist, manager, approver. So likewise, it can be fully customized. We cannot say the only thing that we have seen now. This is not the only process flow, but it can be customized as per the client need. So any questions on this from anyone?
In the previous screen, in the last step of activate, there is a fail also. So what does that mean, a fail in activate step?
Yeah, once the final check is approved, if let's say if the material is not getting created in the backend, so when it fails to create a material, we go to that step.
Okay, okay.
So any other questions from anyone? Okay. So the various business processes in MDG. So we had seen this in bit advance itself before our break. So with this, I would like to wind up our demo sessions. So today is the last day for the attending the demo sessions. So after this, our next session will be on the next coming Saturday. Those will be the regular sessions. It will be on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, every day for 2.5 hours minimum. And it may go extend maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes based on the clarifications or doubts or whatever it is. And it will be total of 2 months duration. So once meanwhile, whenever you make the payment, I will be giving you the access to the Google Classroom. Few people already made the payment. So for them, by end of day, I will be providing the access. So all the content, all the materials, all the videos, everything will be available, accessible from there. And one more thing, I would request you to have an email ID which reflects your name. So the reason I will tell you, I had experienced it in the past that a few people would share the meeting invites to others, and they were having the uh, different names in the email address. And when I asked, they were saying that, okay, it's my email ID only. I was having some issues. I'm connecting from different system, blah, blah, blah. So I don't want to repeat that one. I want your email address reflect your name. You can share that one, updated one with me if it's not already updated in the current email address. Only those email addresses I will be providing the access. I think it doesn't matter of creating a new email address. It's a matter of 2-3 minutes. And again, one more thing, while attending the Zoom meeting, so you can choose the display name for the meetings. And the display name should be your name. So with one name, I will be allowing only one user to attend the meeting. No other participants will be allowed, and no participants who did not pay the fee will not be allowed. So that's all about today. So if you have anything, you can discuss.